Hello, fellow Aquarians. This is for your sun, moon, and rising April of 2025. Work, big changes. Health, positive changes. Relationship, big changes. And even home related matters under the grinding gears of fated and destined change. We're going to dive into this whole month of April and talk about what it might mean for you, Aquarian, sun, moon, and rising sun sign, home and purpose and career. Moon sign can listen kind of more attentively to matters to do with your domicile and home and where you live. And Aquarius rising, it's your avatar in the game of life, and it's everything about you. Excuse me for fidgeting. I'm just not comfortable today. So if you want to go ahead and listen to this kind of thing, I'm so freezing. You're going to be listening today for a 20 to 25-minute video where I share the deets with you, how to time your best life, how to navigate this story. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, using the whole sign house system, big stars and minor asteroids. This is Western tropical astrology. I'm going to talk about the minor asteroid Juno well, not that minor, but the asteroid Juno in this particular delineation, because she's doing something very powerful as well for you that's very fortunate. And she rules love and relationship commitments, as well as business partnerships and alliances and legal contracts. Okay, so let's get the backstory first, right? Backstory is useful. You're an Aquarius, Pluto's in your first house. Enough said. Pluto's playing a massive role in April. Huge energies in the second half of April with that Pluto in the first house. We'll be driving into that in the second half of this video because it's so critical for you. Second of all, Saturn is the lord of your sign, and since 2023, he's been moving so slowly, ever so slowly, through Pisces, your second house of money, earnings, and resources, and facial appearance. You might have been trying to rejuvenate yourself because you feel old and wrinkly. Well, I've been working on it. But it's also Saturn stabilizing your money. So I incorporate it. I'm just using me as an example. I'm a Pisces rising, but it's still solidifying your savings and stepping into more serious approach to your earnings, savings, and resources, right? And he's still there. This month he's not going anywhere, but he's getting tangled up in big energies with the North Node. Destined changes in your finances are coming around the middle of the month. Now, I'm not covering that in detail because I'm going to be doing a big video on this, not seen since the 1850s. Big energy in your second house. Now, Saturn is the lord of our sign. So even when he's doing things like getting all tangled up with a very intense energy called the North Node of fate, he's still doing things good for us. Okay. He's still working his magic to support us. So don't be afraid of this at all. So let's break the month down into some chronological order. But the things I want you to know before I do that, Venus has been retrograding since March the 1st. Okay, that's like a long time. And she will go direct in the middle of the month, actually on the 12th of April. And the retrograde zone has been her backwards motion through our second house of earnings. And so money, resources, and also dietary style. And many of us have been going through a kind of revision, revising, and rethinking of all of those matters. Now, she could be also, because she's going backwards, bringing back financial opportunities from your past, connected to things you've done and been connected to before for financial well-being. She will go direct in April on the 12th, and Mercury's been retrograding here since mid-March, March the 15th or so, and he's also going direct on April 7th. And so things to do with in April to do with money, resources, finances, facial appearances, dietary style are in direct motion by mid-April. That's good news. And no longer are we dredging through the past. Mars also has been for 4 months going through the sign of the part of the sky, the sign of the sky, the part of the sky that's called Cancer, and that's our health and job and work and pets and rental situations. Mars makes change. And as he goes forward, and continues here this month of April, he continues to make necessary changes until April 18th in the matters I just described, and then he's done with us. Now, we'll get to the middle of the month, we'll talk more about that because it's very important stuff. It's very rare stuff he's doing there. So let's go into chronological order. In the first week of April, take some notes, April 1st to the 7th, Mars is trining Saturn. Mars trine Saturn is always a good energy for getting stuff done. It's working hard, but smart, not too hard. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a trine, it allows for hard work to pay off by grinding at a steady pace. And by steady pace, I mean not overdoing it. It's a trine to Saturn, but it's also about perseverant and diligent hard work. And it's about the money, earning the money, making the money, getting the resources you need financially to applying your dog paddling Mars to grinding through the workhouse, but at a pace, hopefully, that's not too bad. Mars has fallen here. He can be a workaholic, but he is in the house of his joy, your sixth house. He is flowing to Saturn, and he's also in a trine, which represents good things. So hard work pays off the last 10 days of March and the first 7 days of April. You're still in that flowing work grinding vibe that works for you and gives you good benefits, good money, good results. Now, because our health matters is the sixth house, and Mars would have you do your Tai Chi or go swimming here, but he wants you to improve your health. He does trine a bunch of planets, Saturn, of course, but Venus and all that, Mercury North Node, in your second house of what you ingest. And there's an attempt here to become more diligent around food style changes that improve your health. I'll use me as an example. I've been doing the autoimmune protocol diet. I started making L-Reiteri yogurt. I'm making changes to the diet that improve my health because what you put, your mouth and nose, what you put through your face is the second house. So Mars is supporting changes in dietary habits to improve your health. And he's hoping you will do some kind of flowing movement because of his travels through Cancer in your sixth house, although it could simply be walking to go to the grocery store, which is, for digestion and nurturance. That's all playing out and continues to play out through the first week of April, as it has been in the last 10 days of March. Now, as we move into the first week of April, there is a beautiful, very lucky mini grand trine forming. And that's where this flowing trine of water between Saturn and Mars in your second and sixth house ends up picking up a bit of a peaking energy with Uranus in your fourth house. Now, Uranus is bringing surprises or unexpected developments. For example, I know that I expected my landlord to tell me she needed me to move out. She is selling the house. I expected that. That's not coming from this thing I'm about to describe. That just happened. That was coming from the eclipse to my moon on the 29th of March, with, by the way, and many other things. Eclipses show you what they're about up to 6 weeks to a month before. Excuse me, my eyes are dry. I'm squinting and blinking. But this is not that. This is something else. So Uranus has a positive surprise, a shocking development. It is on a well star connected to sixth house matters, which are rentals, agreements, property rentals, especially with Uranus, or work opportunities and home, or shocking developments, but positive and surprising regarding debts and debt elimination. Anyway, it's Mars in the sixth house flowing to Uranus in the fourth house, and then Uranus flowing to Saturn in the second house. So you may have a kind of enduring, permanent, positive, exalted Venusian home opportunity emerging for you at this time. And again, it would be very flowing, very lucky, and very fortunate, and it's active mostly the whole first week of April. Now, Jupiter is sextiling the sun also the first week of April. It's exact around the 5th, but you feel it for the whole first 7 days of April. Jupiter sun is luck and opportunity, sextile, easy and flowing, connected to winning money, speculations, financial gain through financial fortunes and lucky moments, connected to the sun in the third house of travel, trips, and local neighborhood. Maybe in the first week of April, you'll have a sudden financial fortune because you bought a ticket at the local kiosk. Maybe you'll have an unexpected prosperity uptick because of a sibling one younger than you, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, third house people. A sudden golden opportunity for an entrepreneurial project to take off online, a sudden opportunity for a leisure travel connected to romance or children, a sudden beautiful, not even sudden, just a beautiful lucky opportunity for something to do with a writing project and a creative lucky break. Okay. So those are like a sweet luck the first week of April on the themes of the third house, meeting the themes of the fifth. A really lucky break with an opportunity to study or learn from a teacher, something you're naturally gifted at. And if you are teaching, as I am, I'm a teacher, then lucky things happening regarding the teaching you're doing. Maybe I'll get invited to teach a course on another platform, or it could be even something like Chris Brennan wants me on his podcast, that kind of thing. I don't know if I'd make the cut. I don't think I'm woke enough, but you never know. Now, moving into the next story. As we move past the first week of April, And we're getting into more depth here. As we approach April 7th, Venus is going to hit Saturn. She's going to back into him because she's retrograde. And Saturn and Venus together can be enduring money and enduring love, or hard money and hard love. This is not a love house. This is a second house of earnings, money, and resources. Now, Saturn can be, let's be realistic and sober-minded, and Venus is exalted and she wants to spend a lot of money, and it's just refraining from that. It's like, okay, April 7th, I'm going to temper my spending, but it's happening again on the 25th. The retrograde version and then the direct motion is connected. But the entire month of April is Saturn, Venus really close together in your second house. And it can be very good for saving money because you're tempering spending on luxury items or expenses. But it can also be something to do with your facial appearance, because your head, your face, because this is like something to do with, beauty, and Saturn is about lasting. So lasting beauty measures to do with teeth, face, all of that, skincare, a nose, whatever, teeth, that kind of thing. So keep that in mind. The retrograde means it's connected to things you've been thinking of in the past around April 7th. On the 25th of April, Venus is direct, and now it could be something fresh and new. They all may be interconnected, however. Okay. Now, speech is hard. Beautiful speech is hard. Venus is the goddess of what is beautiful and exalted, and Saturn is constricted. And this is a house of speech. I've been noticing already like a lot of vocal cord strain from doing too many classes and too many videos. So this is a similar vibe. So maybe shutting down and not talking April 7th and April 25th, but give it 2 or 3 days before and after each of those dates I just gave you. And know that tempering your spending and beautifying your face in lasting ways, these are things that are going on all month long. Now, Mercury will go direct on April the 7th. Mercury is in direct motion at last. He's been retrograde since mid-March. Okay, keep that in mind. I'm home in my sweats here, guys. I need to get more comfortable. Give me a minute. I'm going to try something here. Let's see if that works. I don't know why I didn't set my table up differently. Only for my fellow Aquarians am I rigging my system as I speak to you. Sorry about that. I know. And you can troll me. You can do it. Go ahead. I fidget. I'm all over the map. Why didn't I get everything set up before I started? What's wrong with me? Yeah, go for it. All right. I don't care anymore. I'm done. Pluto, my first house. I just breathed Darth Vader all over you guys, you trolls. Okay. I'm just done. I just no longer have patience for you. All right. It's just, if you sit here and do 12 videos in a row and they're each 30 minutes long, believe me, you're going to be wiggling around too. Good luck with it if you weren't. Okay. Aquarius is back to us. Let's talk more about our little lives. Now, when Mercury went retrograde here mid-March, he went retrograde in a money house. Money from the past can come to us just like that. And with Venus retrograding here as well until the middle of the month as well, money from our past comes to us. Resources and financial things from our past return. Jobs and opportunities from people in our past and job situations from our past return. It means it drags the 10th, 6th, of second house, Artha houses back in time. So things from our past that are financially good for us can come back into being. All right. But we may reassess and rethink some of our spending as well. Finally, Mercury goes direct, and we're all excited for that on April 7th, and he's moving forward until the 16th in the sign of Pisces in our second house. Go ahead, make the deal, sign the contract, buy the laptop, negotiate the deal, accept the job, hit the interview circuit, etc. if it's brand new and fresh. 7th to the 16th. You may land a lasting, enduring, evocatively good job or something because Saturn and Venus are there with a node of fate increasing your financial wellness. Fact in point, the node of fate will increase your worldly success financially through to mid-2026 in destined, enduring, lasting ways. April the 16th to May 11th, Mercury will then move into the sign next door. And the sign next door, right on the other side of it all, is your third house. Time to travel. Mercury is the patron protector of travelers. He's moving into your short distance travel. This would be travel somewhat domestic, maybe continental, not that far away. And so you'll take some journeys. Thank you, Mercury, going direct April 16th to May 11th, giving you 2 thumbs up for travel. Now, when he's here, he's in the house of communicating, marketing, selling, websites, and social media. And you will be very busy doing a lot of communication April 16th to May 11th in this regard. You may come up with new ideas, revise your website, that. You may make changes in your neighborhood. You may be conversing with your neighbors a lot. You might be also talking up, communicating up a new storm of some sort regarding your connection to a younger sibling, one younger than you, which is the third house. Or all of a sudden, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews are all over you, and there's a lot of chatter going on. It's a social planet. Mercury likes to socialize and have fun, and this is your bars and your local neighborhood, right? So good for getting out there and enjoying your company of other people. And so go for it, April 16th to May 11th. Now, there's also the fact here that on April 12th, Venus goes direct. So April 7th, Mercury in your money house, and then April 12th, Venus. Venus goes direct and is in your money house to May 1st. This is an ideal time for expenditures that are expensive and dear, luxury items, or even just expensive. And Mercury going direct April 7th with Venus direct April 12th. If you want to buy a business object like a new laptop, which I'll be doing, Mercury's commerce, then that would be ideal with both Venus and Mercury direct. So April the 12th, okay, to the 16th, we have both planets direct in your second house. So expensive commercial and business property expenditures are yes, success. Also, golden opportunities for financial gains or career opportunities coming your way when both of them are direct. Again, you got a tight window of April 12th to the 16th when both are direct and still sitting in your second house. Mars is the god of action and decisions and endings and cutting and severing. Mars is going to make a beautiful connection called a wedge to the north and south node of fate, the north node increasing your financial wellness, the south node depleting and taking away from the eighth house. Now, don't be afraid of this transit in the sense that I got very wealthy 18 years ago when the North Node transited my eighth house. It just means destined changes in the financial assets. But this is Mars acting on this energy of the South Node in your eighth house, where that eclipse happened mid-April, mid-March, and flowing backwards to the North Node Rahu in your second house. This is coming from the work house. Faded changes in your financial structures that are destined and flowing are coming to you through the work earnings axis of the sky. Now, if you go back, and I told you the date of that is April the 12th, you will feel it very intensely around the time of April the 12th. You might give this a week before and up to 6 days after. Mars has been in your sixth house of work and health, debts and rentals ever since January 6th. I want you to go back also to September and October when he was traveling through there in direct motion. Then he left that part of your chart November 3rd, went into your seventh house of committed long-term love stories and business partnerships and clients. Boy, did the trolls come out of the woodwork for me then. So that would have been November 3rd through to January 6th. A lot of intensity in the house of the public and other people. Holy man, November 3rd, when I didn't properly seem to please people with the astrology of the election, I was unsubbed en masse and I was trolled to the high end of the hills. So that's exactly what happens when Mars is opposing you. So that energy, it has been gone since January the 6th, Mars retrograding from Leo, turning around February 23rd in our workhouse, but still not leaving the workhouse, guys, until April the 18th. So when I talk about this destined fated trine energy to the nodes and sextiles, the wedge that forms on April the 12th, it's coming after Mars is plumbing the depths of health, rentals, pets, tenancy agreements, debt elimination, debt payments, servicing debts, things to do with work opportunities and health matters. So I have to tell you, like September, October, I completely cleaned up my act and stopped all eggplants and all inflammatory foods, nightshades and stuff. And so he really got me to get my health act together 100%. Everything about this has been improving my health, but working hard as well. So you may find that this is a very important window of a destined turning point for all of the work that Mars has been doing there that's going to benefit you financially or in terms of health or in terms of rentals and all of that, properties to lease or rent or debt elimination. Again, the golden ticket, April 12th, expires by April 18th. You might feel it a week before April 12th. Now, it could look like a job opportunity for some of you. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Or you could quit a job with ease, flow, and grace because now suddenly you have enough money not to do that job anymore. That's another example. And suddenly be able to pay off a debt. True. You pay off a debt with this too. Fated, destined increase of money and elimination of debt. Now, on April the 17th, Mars engages into a beautiful grand trine that's very lucky. It's just before he swaps into your 7th house and causes mayhem in relationships. Mars on the 17th, 29 anaretic Gandanta drowning degrees of your 6th house, flows to Juno, the goddess of agreements, contracts, and vows, including marriage, including business, and also flows backwards to the Venus, Saturn, North Node triple conjunction in your 2nd house. For the first thing that comes to mind here, Juno in your 10th house of career. I apologize, 29 degrees of your 10th house of career. This is a beautiful, golden, lucky opportunity regarding career and regarding money. But also Juno's in the house of reputation, and there could be some endings that are positive, fated, destined, and flowing in a long-term committed love story, unfolding with a beautiful amount of magic and grace. Just some possibilities. Let me know what happens with that water grand trine. Then on the 18th, he slips into the marriage house, the troll house, the audience, the clients, the public, the marketplace, and the business partnerships. If there's a relationship that's going to end, and it might have been turbulent already, November 3rd to January 6th when he was there before, this could seal the deal. You haven't seen Mars do this kind of action since September of 1977 to June of 1978. As Mars slips on April 18th into your 7th house of long-term committed love relationships and business partnerships, legal agreements, and contracts, he will be able to break agreements and end things and cut things and sever things. So that's there. And he'll be in that part of your sky until mid-June, until June 17th. When he first gets into this part of your sky, he can fracture agreements of any sort, end a work agreement, and a legal contract regarding property agreements, and a relationship. And just anything that you've got a legal status in could come to a closure or a formal commitment to. Now, this is the other person in your life, the troll that's all over you, or the gnarly person confronting you. And this is including your significant relationship partner, who may be the one with the sword in the hand, so to speak. So then in a long-term committed love story, there may be a lot of intensity in that relationship, a lot of combatual, conflictual difficulty that begins to become apparent April the 18th through until April the 18th through until mid-June. However, Mars means separation. So maybe it just means a geographical distance from a committed love or business partner as well. So, I was November 3rd to June 6th, January 6th included my partner that I'm involved with heading back to the United States, increasing distance geographically between us, because during that time he left Canada. That would be a perfect example. So there's geographical separation for some people with long-term committed love stories starting April the 18th and lasting until mid-June. As he enters into this part of your sky, he opposes Pluto, which is intense. The upside, you could be having dynamic, supernatural, superpowered willpower on steroids to get things into the audience and marketplace, or superpowered will to end, cut, and sever relationships you no longer need, including ones to clients, audience, marketplace, significant business, and love partners. However, it's also very explosive energy, and it gets more intense on April the 20th. On April the 20th, we are going to end up with a condition here of great intensity as the sun leaves the sign of Aries, your 3rd house, where it's been traveling since the 20th of March, and on April 20th enters into your 4th house. Now, the fourth house is your private nest, your home alone time. It's your domicile. Uranus brings shocks and surprises. They don't always have to be bad. Squaring Mars in the seventh and Pluto in the first. There can be a massive explosive blow up with somebody with whom you are cohabitating. There can be a sudden and shocking fracture of legal agreements regarding property, land, and real estate. There may be an explosive confrontation close to home with somebody in your life on April 20th, but not just the 20th. It lasts until about the 25th, where it's still in orb, all right? A shocking, surprising, unexpected development regarding a change of home. I already had mine. My landlord gave notice, but maybe there's going to be a second notice, like we found a buyer and will you move out 2 months early or something, you know, but that energy is there April 20th to the 25th. The sun is going into the house of the mother, unexpected shocking developments with a mother figure in your life. And ultimately, this too shall pass. It's a short window of time, but you're going to get this Pluto-Mars opposition until 2044, and you're going to get the sun moving through the fourth house every year. So the Mars opposition is every 2 years until 2044. You're going to live with this kind of square, but not with the shocking and disruptive energies of Algol, Wealth Star, Uranus as well. So there could be something financially positive trying to emerge from this as well. So it doesn't have to be negative. Okay, it's just like, wow, what is this intensity? Because often a square will make you act and take decisions. You know, you have to act on it. You have to make a decision. You have to pay attention to it. So April 20th to 25th, I'll get back to you in the comments how this played out for me, because I'm really not sure what to make of it yet. The sun is fueling Uranus, right? The sun's hitting the eject button on something. What is it being ejected, and why is it being ejected from? And you know, so are you ejecting someone from the house? Are you ejecting yourself from your own home? Is your own home being ejected from your reality? It's a lot. It's a lot to consider. I'm not sure how to make sense of all of it till it actually happens. You know, Mars moving into the sign of Leo, which is going to happen, as I said, April the 18th, will be in a trine to Neptune, newly emerged into your third house. And the good side of that is going to be a lot of spiritual warrior flow between writing, communicating, marketing, and selling, and hitting the mark with an audience, especially those of you who are using Neptune in your life, which is creativity, storytelling, imagination, and videography platform. So there is the positive side of this, as Mars early in, right from the 18th to the end of the month, will flow back to Neptune. So we can see the positive here as well. But at the bottom line, relationships are challenged. Relationships are asking for cut and sever. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or not. Cut, end, and sever. Or not. We'll see those clients, that audience, that marketplace, that relationship, or that business partnership. Again, you pondered these things November on December, and you stopped thinking about them January 6th, and now you're back in the thick of it. What needs to cut? What needs to end? What needs to close out? And maybe you don't make the decision. Maybe the client leaves you. Maybe the relationship ends because the other person closes it out. I can't tell you how things go here, but it does impact your real estate and home life as well as a general principle. So keep that in mind. So, yeah, no, not to end on a happy note, right? That's what I got for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that's useful. These videos are meant to be 20 to 25 minutes. Everybody's got something a little bit different. Depends on how much I have to say. So if you're a little bit less than 25 or a little bit more than 25, please don't get in my face about it. See, I'm already afraid of Mars moving into the troll house because I find trolls absolutely annoying. Thanks, guys. I'm not picking on a particular troll, just the concept of people have nothing better to do than be an a-hole on comments. All right. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will see you in my next videos, and everything about me, my newsletter, my Zoom, my Patreon community, all of the shit you need to know is under the more button, more ... Click it, then unfolds below the video, everything you need to know about me and my websites and everything else, and my free giveaways. And I got free products down there to give you. Just grab them. I'm getting giddy because I'm on going into the 11th and now the 12th video. Ciao.